Godmaster is finally here, and I could not be ready to master gods. Which is to say, just do a bunch of boss rushes. But before I get into that, let me just check out the amount of time I've been putting into it. Now, first off, I've got to go unlock everything here. It's fitting that you're getting into the Coliseum of Fools immediately. I mean, boss rushing, this is just kind of a horde mode as it is, so... two sides of the same coin, really. Huh. Can't believe I never actually opened up the little hot spring in here in my Steel Soul run. Yep, same as always. But that's not what I was here to do. Nor is it participate in a little bit of spectator sport, as amusing as this is. I love that they actually did put in, like, the blood spray and the crowd cheering and everything. No, I'm going over here. Apparently where they throw all the masks of... Actually, no, they don't throw the masks over here. They just throw them down the pit. Whatever. Yeah, classy, Team Cherry. Get into this area, which looks a lot like the resting grounds entrance if you're coming from the Crystal Caves. And much like the resting ground entrance, you got the little soul statue over here, which this time I at least remember to actually get. Hey, one of the cages. Yep, somebody's over here. Wow, that was way louder than I thought it was going to be. But anyway, before I do that, come on, you always swim underneath. There's always little areas to swim underneath here, if you see that sort of setup. Alright, well, aside from the fact that guy, he's got a very similar sort of mask to the God Tamer, I think. Oh no, I'm not even gonna go try to find that right now. Not waste any more time. He appears to be a loyal citizen, judging by the fact that he's carrying around a king's idol, so... Glad I rested in that sauna there first. Yeah, it seems like the entire little thing behind this, I don't know, I suppose mini-boss battle, is that you're supposed to kind of listen for where this guy's at. Which is not over here. Throws a bunch of little things like the Hive Knight or like the... Oh, hit him already. Yeah, whatever, I don't care. I'll take the... Oh. Yeah, it throws a bunch of little mines like the Hive Knight or the... Yeah, right into it. Fight 2 against Hornet, so... That's irritating. Thankfully not a proper boss, so won't be appearing in the upcoming god fights, as it were. Here you are. Whatever, I don't even care. I'll take the hit. Ugh. Enemies that run away from you, I tell you. Simple key. Yep, that's right. You unlock this area with a simple key. I could have just not gone into the sauna in the City of Tears there and been able to get right into the DLC here. What a guy. Anyway, way down here. Pale Lurker. Yep. Same sort of 4-eye hole mask as like the God Tamer there. A lot of the other sort of Coliseum guys. Forgotten Champion. And that strange obsession was a key. Well, whatever, anyway. Thankfully, I had the foresight to set this up, so don't have to do a huge cut here. Yep, where else to go find those most hallowed of gods than the dankest, dirtiest, stinkiest place in the entire game. Just fantastic. Royal Waterways. And this time I actually knew where I was going when I was looking for this place the first time, because one of the things that they showed in some of the promotional material was a bunch of things related to flukes. So it wasn't me just having to ask the comments section to tell me where the DLC was like I had to do with the Grim Troop. Much like the other DLCs, it is not the most obvious thing to go find here. Right over here, trigger you. Take you out first. Right up here. DLCs are not easy in this game to get to. Oh, you like the new little fluke graphics they got going on here? It just makes it nice and extra disgusting. Yeah. Right, new enemies down here. They do quite a bit of damage too. Fluke Munga. At least you only have to kill one of these guys to get the hunter's thoughts on it. And make good use of the additional weight. Great. Yeah, because, you know, when I was thinking, like, hey, boss fights, fighting, talking about gods and those who seek them, I thought, hey, what are the flukes up to? That's the real questions that any good Hollow Knight player wants to know. Yeah, even in the little DLC sections, it's still quite the maze down here, isn't it? It just never stops. Hi. I am very, very glad that I got Sharp Shadow equipped here. Which, yeah, my basic loadout here is... I don't know why I went directly by that, but... Yeah, Fragile Strength, Quick Slash, Sharp Shadow, and Nailmaster's Glory. Along with the obvious, Grim Troopling here. Grimkin? Whatever his name is. Man, I love this background here. Looks so good. It's a bunch of little funga blooms, I think they're called. You can see that, yep, you are indeed right next to the fungal waste back there. Yep. Mm-hmm. But I'll open it up right now. There is a little bit more to do in this area, but maybe I'll check that out after getting this show on the road. Always just finding the largest, deadest bug you possibly can to open up these DLCs. Can't say Team Cherry isn't consistent. And in fact, exactly like starting up the Grim Troop. Well, fine then, if you're gonna be like that, I'll just leave. Okay, you know what, I'll actually add that bit to the end of the episode, just because, hey, come on, just got into... Title card? Just got in Godhome here, don't wanna distract too much from that. A C. And presumably, I don't think this would all open up if I didn't have all the bosses unlocked, but I do. So, Oh, I never fought the Hive Knight. That's interesting. Maybe I will go and do that at some other point in time. I don't know, something about the design of this guy's mask I really like. Seem to be sort of many type of creatures in a single one here. The God Seeker. This appears to be some sort of lifeblood thing. I think it's activated by, like, doing some... There are restrictions you can put on each of those areas up above. But before I get to that, let's check out the Hall of the Gods. These are where you can fight individual ones of the boss. Here's Gruzmother, for example. Fight him in normal mode, super mode, which is pretty much a lot of extra health, as well as they do 2 times damage. Gruzmother, for example, has like a different area that you fight her in. It's kind of interesting. And that's for every single one of the bosses that you're gonna fight here. You can switch the bosses from like dream mode to normal mode. But I'm not going to be doing that here because I'm going to be fighting all of the bosses anyway, so let's get right up here. Like base nail, half as much health, no charms, only a single pip of soul afforded to you. But no, this is much like all of the DLCs. It's like the Godmaster here is for the super players, people that have been playing this game forever, that know everything about it and all that sort of stuff. So I think just finishing the Pantheons is going to be enough for me here. I mean, God's just a code for boss here, so I've kind of already done that, but whatever. Well, I did beat the entirety of the Colosseum, so I guess I did win the glory of being a fool. Fair enough, fair enough. Another thing is that bear in mind that these are not the base level forms of the bosses. They have adjusted health for, you know, say having the pure nail and fragile strength on. Oh, get over here. This is the nice thing about having the Grimkin out here. It makes it so that I don't have to wait until this guy is attacking each time here. It's interesting to get something like the Vengefly King here considered a god. I mean, there's only one proper god in the kingdom, and that would be Radiance. So it's weird to see that this guy would be considered among the ranks of a character like that. Though I suppose there is also a lot of lightning going on outside. I suppose there's also characters like the Pale King, who is, you know, worshipped as a god by the told you there was a lot of lightning going on. Worshipped as a god by like Hollow Nest, as well as maybe the Abyss creature down in the bottom. Grim, who seems to be sort of a counterpart to the Radiance. Easy. It seems like any schmo who gets considered to be a boss fight in this game gets to be a god of, well, something at least. You saw like the Grow's mother was the god of maternity or something like that. Every single one of the bosses in the hall has some sort of title similar to that. Fragile Strength Quick Slash. It is just the False Knight's worst enemy. Hell, even the failed champion does pretty good against Moss Charger. Interesting to see this guy come back. Oh, real close there. There we are. Not nearly as useful of a technique if you decide to go for the what is it, the Ascended version of the fight in the Hall of Gods. But hey, for right now, it works just fine. Almost had her fall into me in her vulnerable phase there. Yeah, first Pantheon's not too bad at all. It's a lot of the early game bosses. It's a lot of the kind of simpler fights here, so I'm not super worried about tanking my way through some fights here. And besides, you also get stuff like this handy-dandy little sauna here halfway through the Pantheon too. And that's for each Pantheon, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't seen every single one of them just yet. most of them so I could have some practice on the unique bosses to the DLC here before I actually did the video, but not everything. By the way, if you're wondering, the plan here is to do the first few Pantheons and then make a second video for the, let's say, the rest of the content. Oh, already in the second phase, not bad at all. I'd say Dung Defender is probably one of the harder bosses that you can fight in this one, but still not too bad. He's no White Defender. Oh god, if you ever thought it was tough fighting like the Lost Kins, tough fighting the Failed Champion before, try doing it in a huge marathon of fights. Of course, again, it's kind of been a theme that most of the DLCs have been just a bunch of super bosses over and over, rather than like huge new areas or NPCs. No, it's the classic sort of idea of, hey, if you've been playing the game this far, you probably want something crazy, you know? I can appreciate that, but at the same time, oh god, it is so difficult to do all these bosses so often. Considering taking the Dash Master as part of the kit here, but didn't actually do so, decided to get the Grimkin instead, because as nice as it is to have Dash Master, you don't have your Shade Cloak refresh any more often. It's just the... Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm really envious about you being trapped in a coffin for that long. How can I get in on that deal? Well, unfortunately, the exact opposite of that is happening. Alright then. But yeah, getting a lot more out of the Grimkin than, what, the 50% extra damage. Although being able to dash a whole lot isn't bad at all. So, first unique boss here, Nailmaster Oro. Even has the dash slash that he gives you when you talk to him in the Kingdom's Edge. But, ultimately, not too tough until... Oro and Meito. If you remember the actual... If you remember, like, the lore of the game, Oro did something to wrong Meito. So it's kind of nice to see them coming together here, even if it's a bit of a futile effort. Oh. I should probably heal here, but it's fine. It's nice to see the Nail Masters get their own boss fight here. Obviously, being super powerful masters of the nail, it was kind of disappointing to see that all you did was just kind of spar with them in a cutscene previously. A little God Tuner flash there. Did that actually change in the inventory? That's something I never checked. Oh, I think it did. 4 of them, and the third one is locked off. I got a little bit more percentage, though. That's something. Drained in combat by the Great Nail Sage. I think you can kind of guess who's going to be at the end of each of these areas, especially if you've been paying attention to any of the promotional material here. See, I told you they'd be fine. I mean, kind of. Honestly surprised that the Godseeker has survived in that coffin for so long. I mean, hey, who knows? Maybe it was just actually a very short internment. I can't really say for sure. Oh boy. That was the easy one. This is when it starts to get real. Been doing pretty well so far. You just said that you need a ritualistic combat to attune yourself. Is what I'm doing not ritualistic enough? It sure feels like it with the... I'm playing by your rules. Cool. I cannot believe I'm getting hit so often by Zero. This guy's a pretty easy fight here. It shouldn't be taking this much damage. Yeah, I wasn't really using the Nailmaster's Arch too much in the first Pantheon. It becomes so much more important here because fighting the dream bosses suddenly becomes rather difficult because Quick Slash ain't gonna do you much good against an enemy that's flying. Quick Slash will do you a lot of good, though, against the Crystal Defender. Shade Cloak and that just make that fight just absolutely trivial. Not too worried about Soul Master here. Soul Tyrant is the real fight with this sort of setup. Oh, I thought he was going to do the dash. God, I'm so used to fighting the Soul Tyrant. It is incredible how slowly he does that. I mean, not really. All the dream fights are mostly, I would say, categorized by how much faster the enemies move, as well as like the Veiled Champion doing a lot more damage as well, but you really don't get to see exactly how that goes just until you're doing these huge marathons like this. Alright, hurry up already. I've got so many more bosses to fight here. Probably would also help if I didn't run directly into him, but, you know. There's one thing that is the bane of my existence. It is contact damage. All the way from the Trial of the Champion, I believe? Okay. Spread out the damage a little bit here. Really, the thing you gotta worry about most here is accidentally, like, finishing the fight without having enough soul to get back to full health, which unfortunately didn't really happen here. Oh, Mantis Lords. And there are a couple unique forms of bosses here, too. It's not just, like, changed up terrain for, say, the Gruzmother. But something like the... There is, like, a second form, a second sort of, like, clone boss for the Mantis Lords and Nosk, which I have not actually fought yet. So I'm a little curious as to what that is. I think I gotta get a little bit farther into the... Oh, should probably not risk that there. This is the one you want to risk here. And that risk did not pay off at all, did it? Wow, this is just getting embarrassing. Oh, well, I should have more than enough soul by the end of this to at least mostly heal up. All right. Oh, come on. I gotta be like 1 or 2 hits away from finishing this. Perfect. Now they do the bow animation while I just sit here healing. And should be... Oh, wait. It's already at the hot spring. Sure, why not? You can also switch out, like, your various charms here, if you so chose, but this kit has been doing me quite well so far. What? How did I miss that? That's crazy. Marmu, I'm so bad at fighting her. Always take way more damage than I should, but at least, hey, I'm mostly at full health here. Hey, speaking of enemies I'm bad at fighting, here's Nosk. An enemy which I think that every single time I played this game, I've just actually tanked my way through, not even bothered fighting proper. Well, at the time you fight him, you usually can do that. Also, it would help if he wasn't being such a huge coward. Well, fair enough then, Nosk. I guess he heard what I said. There we are. Ooh, can I get one hit in on the mask? Awesome. Ooh, boy. As long as I'm fast enough, I should be okay here. And I wasn't fast enough. Alright. It's like, yeah, if you can get the soul and just keep constantly doing Howling Wraiths there. Or Abyss Shriek, not Howling Wraiths. You can get through there without taking any damage, but... Come on. Again, such a world of difference between the Broken Vessel and Lost Kin. To the point that I don't even feel too bad about just tanking my way through this fight. I'll try to do a little bit of healing here. I mean, that's a very exploitable type... Well, it would help if you didn't just jump on top. I mean, usually that's a point where... can do a lot of damage to him, and I probably would have just ended the fight there, but I guess I decided that getting a very minor amount of healing was more worth it. Ah, whatever. What do you gotta say? Hey, they're trying. What? Have you seen my weapon? It is beautiful and pristine. Oh, okay, I wouldn't really call it luck so much as I very, very specifically prepared for these fights before doing this. Alright, you don't need to repeat yourself here, I get it. And Dream Nail dialogue, I've tested it out, seems to be the same for each one. Hey, Shio! So while Oro and Meito had a little duel fight here, Shio, on the other hand, is by himself. And thankfully, it's at least pretty predictable what he's going to be doing, because you can see, obviously from his animations, but also the color of the paint on his brush. Still, it's neat to see him actually... Oh, close. Neat to see him actually, get to use his paint skills here in combat. Not just be forced to be constrained to butt a nail. Yeah, with Shadow Cloak there, I'm able to get a lot of hits in on him when he decides to do the charge. Oh, crap. The charge purple hit. Also, you can see he was painting the Godseeker in the background. Neat little detail. It was a good try, but Shio, at this point, I fought you like 50 times. I know what your patterns are. 9 minutes. I'm surprisingly consistent when doing this. could just go switch to a different save file, which I may do, rather than trekking literally across the world, the easternmost side of the world, to see, just to fight a single boss to show this again. Oh, looking even better, eh? Sure did. Well, revived? Right. That Team Cherry, they're like a... Anyway. Yeah, you look great. Anyway, here, I'll go fight the Hive Knight and then skip right back to this. Alright, finally. That boss was added after I had already finished this game. Well, that's called the Void. Okay. A little bit more straightforward on that one. What an appropriate boss to fight immediately, isn't it? Hate when he combos those two things together. That's... hate when he combos the dash, the like disappearing and then dash forward together with the... secondary dash. Ah, you know what I mean. At least this fight affords me a lot of opportunity to heal. Well, provided that, you know, I don't continuously get hit then, too. Not a big fan of this boss. A little bit too much variance in heal. Where the bracelets actually appear. If you get like 3 of them above your head, then suddenly you're very likely to get hit. Oh, Collector, eh? It's kind of ridiculous that he gets to keep his distorted music even in this fight. If he just does as many grabs as he wants, that's the easiest way to fight this guy. Oh, ah! Dang it, Grimkin, I was gonna try to get a little bit of extra soul there. Because I could really use a heal after this. This is definitely when it starts to get quite difficult in terms of the bosses you're fighting in the Pantheon. Alright, come on. This was definitely one that I had to practice a few times in the Hall of Gods, because another type of boss that you just keep, Yep. Screwed that up. Another type of boss that you just kind of tank your way through when you get to the end of the Trial of the Fool. You get one more heal here? Good. I'll let Grim do his bow and everything. Really, to be honest, after the last few fights, this is kind of a nice, simple cooldown one, you know? Because honestly, I've had to fight Grim so often that I got his patterns down pretty well. He gives you ample time to heal and dodge his attacks, thankfully. If this was Nightmare King Grim, maybe it wouldn't be as nice, but hey. No, whatever. And again, much like the Collector, he gets his own little version of the theme going on here, which I like. Just yellow devil it up. Ah. Went in for the hit there, and that was a bad idea. That was a decent amount of hits for that move. Usually you're not able to get in there so, I don't know, quickly. And done. Oh, I could have hit him like 3 to 4 more times when he went up against the wall there, but nah, no such luck. Oh. Ooh, there we go. There we are. I don't know why I just healed when I had full health, but reflex, I guess. Halfway through, doing pretty good, I'd say. Of course, this second half has one of the more irritating bosses to fight. Although, really, I would like to not lose as little health against this guy as I possibly can. For this next fight! Umu. Umu's been changed up a little bit. Obviously, Quirrell's not going to be here to help you now, so he's got a new extra move. Which Umu, if you would. Okay, not that one. Yeah, the unfortunate thing is that much like the actual battle against this guy, it's just a lot of waiting around. This is the one that I was looking for. Summons a few of these jellyfish, and instead of Quirrell coming to the rescue here, what happens is that you're supposed to... well... try to hit them into Umu there, although sometimes the way they spawn, and obviously trying to dodge around the explosive core there, not always the easiest thing to do. So again, this was another boss that I had to take quite a few tries at in the... Thanks, Grimkin. Another boss that I had to take more than a few tries at just to kind of get a handle on to do in the Pantheon proper, because I kept losing to him otherwise. Oh, can I get a Dream Nail here? Nice. Well, kind of nice. Ah. There we are. Oh, well, it worked. The only trick I can say for this guy is try to get on the opposite side of where you're trying to hit the jellyfish cores, so you can hit him into it rather than... yeah. Oh, you... well, at least if I don't completely screw up this fight, this is a good opportunity to get a lot of healing in. Because Hornet, as usual... oh, right! Gonna have my Grimkin being very non-cooperative. Now, unless he gets herself stuck in the wall. That is actually a known bug with the game that I've heard people talking about. Finish her off in like a a minute of just hitting her when she gets herself stuck in the left wall there. Godseeker, anything? Both gods and that until the trademark had to be changed. Yeah? Is this not ritual enough for you? What's that great power? I mean, there's several great powers that it could possibly be. I kind of said before, there's a few different types of gods. It's probably Radiance, though. Of course. Of course! I mean, come on. You fought the other 3 Nail Sages. Why would you not fight Sly? Best place to hit him is after he does the big, that move. And of course, being the Great Nail Sage, he has all of the charge attacks from the other ones. Well, at least Grimkin there actually gave him a bit of... Oh boy. A little bit of opportunity to heal there. Oh, come on. Was that really that huge? All right. Boy, did this fight take me a little while to learn. Sly can be quite difficult, especially when you learn that he has a second phase. You can actually just kind of... If he decides to get in the corner there enough, you can just, cheese it out. Which is what I might end up doing here, and I totally did. Hey man, whatever works. Alright, Grimkin, calm down. $10.28, not the best time, but I'd like to get that at least sub 10. Oh, I should actually look at the... No, not the Hive Knight. Already seen that guy before. I would say he's a pretty successful merchant. He literally sold all of his merchandise and had to close up shop. You know, for some reason that still has the little symbol for the poem there, still has a little symbol for the hunter above that, despite the fact that it's clearly not the hunter saying that. Whatever. Anyway, Paint Master Shio. Eager to learn new things. I can appreciate that. And then, when you get all 3 of the Pantheons,